What if the Soviet Union's most deadly prison camp never closed and continued operating today? Vorkuta forced labor camp sat in the Arctic Circle where temperatures dropped to minus 60 degrees Celsius. 2 million prisoners died there mining coal with bare hands. The camp officially closed in 1962, but what if it hadn't? If the Soviet collapse never ended the Gulag system, modern Russia could still be running Arctic death camps. Political prisoners and dissidents would face 25% annual death rates from exposure and starvation. International relations would be completely different with active concentration camps operating in the 21st century. The world would be dealing with a modern slave state extracting resources through institutionalized murder. Global politics would revolve around stopping this Arctic nightmare.
Okay, this video is self-explanatory with regards to the Gulag system in Russia, particularly in the Soviet era. If that was the case, it would have been the same old business with that, all in all. That's pretty much it, because with regards to the justice system as per in Russia and throughout its entirety of its history, it's never been so grand nor perfect whatsoever. But then again, every country is like that. Let's be real, including the West, in terms of the biases and bias that the justice system may have with particularly with any individuals in society whatsoever. That's pretty much it. So the what if in this video is that Vorkuta, the Gulag system, that infamous prison in this video, will be operating as always if it didn't close.
What if nuclear weapons existed during President John Quincy Adams' heated standoff with Britain over Oregon in 1825? Adams was already pushing America to the brink of war, refusing to back down from his aggressive territorial demands. The president had documented willingness to risk everything for American expansion. With atomic capability, his hawkish diplomacy could have escalated to nuclear threats against British naval forces in the Pacific. One miscalculation would have triggered the world's first atomic conflict between major powers. Indigenous populations across the Pacific Northwest would have faced radioactive fallout for generations. Global colonialism would have developed completely differently with nuclear-armed nations from the early 1800s. Adams' actual ultimatum moments with Britain were already dangerous enough. Nuclear capability in the 1820s, leadership could have created atomic diplomacy, replacing conventional military power. World civilization would have been fundamentally altered forever. One president's aggression could have introduced nuclear horror a century early.
Alright, this what if video makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. Merely because the concept or the idea of nuclear power or atomic energy wasn't merely much of a concept in 1825 in the middle of the 19th century. Although at the time, scientists and prominent individuals of that particular era were very keen to understand more when it comes to atomic energy, but that didn't come into fruition a century after, essentially. But if that was the case, right, if nuclear weapons were invented in the 19th century, then the entire history of the last half century would be entirely different, to be very frank with you, with all of you, you know. But this video is just fucking stupid, because nobody thought the idea of nuclear weapons in 1825 in the United States or in the world. Come on.